So here are three things that Zoom calls taught me about church. I'm in sales, and I spend my day talking to people. Most of those conversations are scheduled, and the person I'm going to be talking to has the option to have a regular old phone call where I just dial the number and we talk, or they can set up a video call like a Zoom call. It's interesting when a Zoom call gets set up and it's not necessary. And I always wonder, why would you prefer a video call over a phone call? And I noticed that when I would leave the video call, when we would end the video call, I would often ask myself, why was that necessary? I'm more tired. We covered less ground. We wasted more time. And it irritated me in a way that church irritates me. And so when I started thinking about it, there were really three main things about church that irritate me, just like a Zoom call irritates me. And I'm going to go over those with you. But before I do, my name's Nick. I'm a middle-aged dad, approaching 50. I'm a Christian. I think I'm on the verge of a midlife crisis, or maybe even going through it. And I'm feeling really burnout. I'm feeling burnout on especially church. And I'm just trying to be honest enough to call out the things that I see as inauthentic, phony, and a complete waste, and are not explicitly mentioned in the Bible. If that's the type of content that resonates with you, like the video and subscribe, and I'd greatly appreciate it. Okay, so here are the three things that Zoom calls taught me about church. Well, first of all, the first few minutes are a complete waste of time. In a Zoom call, the first 5 to 10 minutes is just, making sure, can you hear me? Can you see me? I can't hear you. I'm gonna drop out and rejoin, or we're still waiting on someone to join. Everyone's trying to get the audio and video to work, and by the time the meeting actually starts or the conversation actually starts, you've wasted 5 to 10 minutes. Whereas a phone call, they'd say hello, you start talking, no time wasted. Church is like that too. You go to church, you got to find a place to park. You walk into the sanctuary, you got to check your kids in, make sure they get to their Sunday school class. Then you got to get to your Sunday school class. Now you got to get the coffee. You got to avoid Sister Betty, who is going to start telling you about the bunions on her freaking ankles and make you even later to your Sunday school class. You got to go into the sanctuary. You got to find a seat. You got to save a seat. All of these things that are just, God, why are we doing these things? You're just waiting for the service to start. Anyway, I think we waste a lot of time glad-handing, pretending to talk to people like we care, and connecting with people in a phony and inauthentic way, just to fill the time before the thing actually starts, before the Sunday school class starts, or before the sermon starts. So like a Zoom call, the first few minutes are always just a complete waste of time. The second thing Zoom calls taught me about church is that it is a way of achieving an end that is more mentally and emotionally exhausting. With a Zoom call versus a phone call, for example, one analogy I have for that is having a phone call with someone is like running 10 miles. Having that same conversation over video, for whatever reason, is like running 10 miles in a 3-piece suit in the middle of summer. For some reason, it just takes more out of you. It's more exhausting. Maybe it's because you have to sit in one place. You have to smile. Maybe you have to, in addition to having a conversation, you have to force yourself not to roll your eyes when you hear something asinine said. And church is very much the same way. You go, you sit, you listen. You go through the motions, and you can't roll your eyes. and maybe you want to. You have to act a certain way. You have to shake people's hands. Maybe there's somebody there you don't want to have to engage with, but you're forced to engage with. You shake their hand, and inside you're like, gosh, this person, I know who they really are, but I can't be who I really am because they'll think poorly of me, or it'll ruin my Christian witness, or who knows what it is. But you leave church just feeling depleted, completely depleted. And it's not like the fellowship of believers you read about in Acts, where they're actually loving each other, breaking bread together. It's not the same. It's not the same in church as what I read about in the Bible. For whatever reason, it's just not the same. So that's the second thing. The third thing that Zoom taught me about church is that we go about it in a way, we do it in that way because we can, not because we should. So with Zoom calls versus a regular old phone call, sometimes it's just expected that that's what everyone prefers. And we're doing it because technology affords us the opportunity to do it. We do it because we can do it, not because we should do it. We do it because it's the latest, greatest new thing, not because it's the most effective thing or the most efficient thing or the most authentic thing. It's just the newest thing. There is this, as Neil Postman said, people seem to have a lust for technology, and they must default to the latest trend. How is church any different than that? Why do we have to default to the latest trend? We do church the way we do church because we can do it, not because we should do it. The way we should do church is written in black and white in the Bible, and yet we layer on all of these other things, build up this whole thing around it. And we do those things because we can. They couldn't back then, but we can now, so we do them, not really thinking, is this beneficial or not? The way we do music, for example, the way we do volunteering, the way we do our programs. You don't read about any of those things in Acts. And it makes you wonder, are we just spinning our wheels, doing all these other things because we can? I think that's the case. That's the thing about Zoom and church, the way we do church now, the broken way we do church now in Zoom. It justifies this distraction of resources from older, yet in many cases more effective and efficient ways of going about it. Those are just my thoughts. I'd love to know your thoughts. Comment in the video. I hope you like this, and I'll see you next time. Bye.